Crits, failures, lend me your ears. I come to share knowledge, but not to receive praise. The evil and good that men and women do lives after them, especially in Dungeons & Dragons. In this episode, we make sure that the most good is interred with the bones of your characters in the best way we know how, by sharing our little ideas on how to play this noble game correctly. Even if your question be ambitious to a grievous fault, we will answer it. We at Critical Fail are honorable men. We are all honorable men, and we are friends. So ambition, honor, or even if you're captive in a basement being forced to watch this, please enjoy this brief bonus episode that is just a simple conversation amongst friends during a break of one of our latest sessions. This is Critical Fail episode 33, a bonus episode, a chat with friends. And now I must pause till we see each other again.
We appreciate that you really want to play.
And we are looking in the future to maybe having a special like charity day event that we bring people in or something like that.
Occasional guests, that sort of thing. So, keep your ear to the ground. But at the moment, playing through chat is not an option. And then when Jake stares into the camera, I feel like he's staring into my soul.
Well, I am a ginger, and that is kind of our thing.
They want a soul so bad.
They want one so bad.
Hey,
He's trying to steal it.
We have one for every freckle we've got that we've stolen, so it's...
Is that how the freckles happen?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yep. That's why there's less of them in the winter time, because it takes a while to eat those.
You got to recuperate your... Yeah.
Yeah.
So that went weird. We'll just chew on things for a while.
Yeah, we'll chew on things loudly and chat with people.
And drink.
Okay, so we're going to eat and talk.
And talk and eat.
So a little bit more the bog. Basically what I was saying when I was mentioning that you want to be sure to keep your character fun is don't give it such a detriment that it's difficult to play or it gets old for the group. Mm-hmm. So, like if you wanted to play, a deaf character who can't speak or hear, it might be an interesting challenge, but depending on how you play it, it could get old. Mm-hmm. Especially when a lot of things require you to have verbal casting.
I think when I played a blind character once, and but I built it around having compensated for that. So it was second edition, so you had blind fighting, and he had all these other things, and it was actually really fun. My DM wasn't happy about it, but he let me do it and tried to kill me, wiped the party. I lived.
What kind of a DM would try to kill your characters?
I don't know, just me, I guess. But what I'm getting at there is, I think that if you come to an understanding with your DM and you're like, all right, you've lived past level 1. Let's just assume that you can walk down a road without having to make rolls for it. You know what I mean? And then just bring it up when it matters. Because conversely, the fact that Liam can't see in the dark has been an ongoing thing for us. Like because we've spent so much time. You have your light spell, you can see. Yeah. But so.
But until he casts light, the two of them are in the dark. Literally and figuratively.
But I would say that
well done, sir.
As long as it's maybe not any more of a presence or an awareness than night vision, then yeah, it could be fun.
But you could be really fun with not letting your family or the town folk know that you're magic. Just be like, shh guys, shh, be cool. Yeah. And just kind of play off it that way. Or you could play the aristocrat, who doesn't want anyone to know that he's actually a mage, and just completely be oblivious to the people that are calling you out as a mage. Just be, no, I didn't. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're wrong. And there's plenty of fun ways to play it, but just keep in mind that the whole idea is to have fun. And at least from our perspective, rules are more of a guideline.
Yeah.
They're a way for you to accomplish the game, but if it's funny or it's enjoyable or it plays towards the game, bend them and break them. It's your game, it's your rules.
Like wearing horseshoes.
Right. Which hasn't really affected the game much at all.
because you were never stealthy to begin with.
Right.
Except for the conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Actually, no. So he can walk faster than he can run.
Right.
So he, so he didn't, but he doesn't have anything beyond that. So he just had his maximum speed, which is when he's walking, but he couldn't fall. He couldn't then run faster.
Right.
So like, and I didn't make you guys make any checks. So like, it was actually zero benefit to him in there. He would have just been running instead of walking, and that was it.
Well, because I could walk faster than I could run,
oh, you did get
I've
an extra 5
increased
squares.
my maximum speed. So now I'm more like a filthy human.
We do what we can.
But
Often a little less, but yes.
Eventually you'll join us.
Never.
keep stacking up horseshoes until he's about your height. Then
As soon as one of us bites you, it's all over at that point.
So Grebe, I'd be interested in hearing a little bit more about yourself. Maybe how long have you been playing for and whatever. You've obviously got a good mind for the rules and stuff like that, and you've been very generously answering questions on chat and stuff while we've been hanging out. So it'd be nice to, hear a bit more about you. Anybody else has any other questions about why we play or how we play or
What the thought process is?
rules that we do or our setup to do all this stuff or whatever, we're happy to answer them. Otherwise, we're going to eat pizza and look at you.
Yep.
Look right into your soul.
You get to watch us eat.
Even I looked at you, Jake. I was like, I'm not going to look at the camera. I'm going to look at Jake.
Grebe has requested that Jake stop staring at the camera. Because it's sexy time. So let's see here. Viper's Planet. I have a fighter who is a prince, but I think I might have done something wrong when creating him. In what way would be my question? What seems broken? I'm glad your sandwich was delicious. DiGiorno pizza is working out quite well there, Grebe.
I burnt it, though.
Could be a bard. It's just my class, my character.
Can't believe it's not delivered.
Right, yeah, the bugs. Jake can maybe help you out with this. You can choose... So, like, I'm an acolyte of Ula, but I'm a paladin. Any class could be an acolyte. It's kind of what your history is or your, where you grew up or what that
your
kind of...
background
And you
is,
get
yeah.
little benefits for being different backgrounds.
Yep. Even in the section of the backgrounds in the book itself on I forgot which page it starts on, but there's even the noble, which is on page 135. And that goes over a bunch of different personality traits, anything from you constantly have to have yourself well groomed to you get the everybody's extremely happy with the flattery you do when you talk to them. Things along those lines, and it can get into a lot of different things. For instance, in the flaws, I secretly believe that everyone else is beneath me. Well, you can do a lot of fun things with that, and still trying to pretend that it's somebody you're not, with all those flaws and characteristics still poking through. It's a lot of fun.
And now his interest is playing a noble who admits he's a noble but does not admit he's a magic user.
Correct.
Oh, that's
the
right,
idea
yeah,
was...
Because it sounds almost, as you were saying, it sounds almost more fun to be, I don't want anybody to know I'm a noble for whatever reason. But.
So the situation described was he's a prince from a kingdom where they frown upon magic users.
Oh, like maybe Dark Sun Universe or something like that.
Yeah, so he is a mage, but he doesn't tell anybody he's a mage because he's the prince, and he would basically be disowned
Right.
by community, family, whatever it is.
Right.
So that's the idea behind it.
That's very cool.
Which it can be played right, but like I said, just don't make yourself so strict to adhering all of that stuff that you quit having fun.
He said the kingdom, or like the general world that he lives in, doesn't like magic, or just
His town and kingdom, I think.
yeah. Could be why he's in another kingdom on the run or on the lam. So then he'd be hiding his nobility instead. But I like, because back to what you were saying, Jake, was what got me excited about that was I was hearing, I'd want to admit I'm a noble, but I treat everybody like crap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That'd be really interesting. Just like always haughty, always, whatever.
Backhanded compliments.
Yep.
There's a saying: a character is not defined by his abilities, but by his flaws. And I love keeping that in mind whenever making some type of a character, because it's really going to identify your boundaries,
Yeah.
and creativity comes in finding ways around those boundaries.
Or just realizing that even though you as a player know the best decision, your character doesn't.
Right.
And he's going to wander his way into something stupid.
Yep.
When you as the player would think, I'd never do that. But this guy here,
Thornton
would. He would, he would throw the goblin a chunk of rations.
Whereas Matt would probably have just killed him.
Yeah.
I would just kill him. I don't know why you have to turn to look at me like that's not even a question.
That's your standard greeting, though.
But what would Nick have done?
Nick would have thrown him rations.
Yeah.
So I will say that Liam showed extreme restraint in not killing this thing.
He was looking for any reason, though, man. Holy crap.
The player in me says
Did he
that.
just say that he was going to kill him? You die? I heard that.
The best case of selective hearing ever, because you can hear everything he's saying, but all you hear is, you die. Like,
So, Bog, Bard would be an excellent class if you're going to stay within your area where magic isn't allowed, because you could just play it off as being an incredible musician that inspires people, or that, things happen to go wrong, or, whatever when you play. And you could just play it off as a coincidence as long as you want.
you know, it's almost an interesting take on that, too. Would be like you can do the music and the singing and the bardic inspiration, but like talk with your DM, but almost twist it where you're almost is it not Tyrion Lannister, the one that the imp in Game of Thrones.
Tyrion.
Is it Tyrion? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's Tyrion.
So like that character had nothing to do with him being a little person. He is so charismatic that he gets people to do what he wants without song, without dance, without trickery, without bribe. It's almost magic. It would be almost interesting to take a bard character and play him that way, where you almost resist casting spells or doing magic, but maybe you give flowery speeches or you give other things, and you're playing it where you're just suave as hell or really charming, and like that's interesting.
But if this is your first time ever playing, it might be a lot of fun to do the red box first, or grab one of the tabletop games, and just get a feel for the mechanics of it and how you could potentially implement all of these role-playing things. Because that's going to be your hardest part, is getting into the role-playing and getting that mindset of how is this all going to work.
And the bard is an interesting thing too, because your job is to make other people better, basically.
Right.
And but you're not. But it's not calculatable as much, like when it's like, oh, I'm just giving them hit points like a healer, or I'm doing these other things. It's like, okay, when is the best time to give them inspiration so that this next round will hit?
Exactly.
It's very tricky, but cool. And I don't know what it'd be like to start there.
Yeah.
So, well, starting as a bard, the bards play differently entirely. Even in this, it's a little bit different because you're not. You can still sustain in a fight. You can still go into a fight and manage it, but the bard's bard's capabilities are in the word of mouth and the speech and floweriness and rallying other people to do your work for you.
Mm-hmm.
So they're lazy.
Yeah, exactly. They're very
Inspirationally
lazy.
lazy.
They're alcoholics. They drink a lot, so they need other people who can see straight.
But they're also the guy doing guitar solos on stage and waiting for the crowd to love them back.
So Bard completely aside, if you've paid any attention to this conversation at all, everyone should probably be able to tell that I have no idea what the hell I'm doing right now. Which, playing for the first time, though, is, like, especially great with these guys, because then I can play off of them and figure out, like, okay, I can figure out what Matt's trying to get to. Like, I can help that process get there.
Yeah.
Or, like...
Or how can I be contrary and shoot this guy in the...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or, with Jake's experience and Jeff with your experience, like, knowing that, like, I can figure out, like, all right, Jeff obviously is trying to hit this plot point, like, I like where this is headed. Like, I'm going to do something crazy that he's not going to expect, which then I find, like, brings a fun twist to it. Like, it's a lot of fun, and I think it helps a lot playing with guys that already know what they're doing instead of, like, I'd be lost in the book, and I'd be so lost.
What are you looking for, Jeff?
Those,
It's a great advantage to have these guys that can, help talk through these ideas that... like, I have this awesome idea that, like, I would really like to do this,
in the bedroom?
but I don't know how to pull it off. And then one of these guys jumps in and me that's like, well, you have this spell that you may not have acquired yet, but next time you level up and you have a new spell slot, like, take a look at it, or, even something as simple as like before we even started, Matt sent me a bunch of podcasts and like YouTube videos of like just to get a feel, of combat and whatnot. Even though it wasn't 5e yet, like it was a great help. And then I'm trying to slowly learn and work my way up to figuring it out on my own.
But that's a lot of the fun of it, is figuring it out, because I've listened to a ton of podcasts and watch a bunch of videos and stuff, but I by no means am, I would say, good.
We would all agree with that.
Yeah.
I like that it's not the
Anyways.
same like scenario or the same situation every time. Like there's always some little variant. It's not like every single fight I'm just gonna fire arrow, fire arrow, fire
Right.
arrow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not a grind.
Like, Jake's down, let me go over. Like healing wounds. Like fire arrow, fire arrow. Like every encounter has been completely unique. Every trap has been different.
Yep.
Every conversation has been different, which today has been cracking me up this entire time.
Well, and I will say that's as much on the DM, and it is also
Yes, praise yourself. Praise yourself.
No, just like finding the right fit of a DM, because there are people who will feel the exact opposite of you, who want that nonstop. I want to just be shooting things, getting gold, and Diablo. D&D as
right.
Diablo.
Yeah.
It's really
and that's fine. And again, I like Diablo, but I honestly, me, you guys, like, I think all of you guys played it. Did you played Diablo, right, Jake?
Yes.
You guys all played it and played it more. I
I've played so much
I got right through the end of the story and was like, drop the mic, walk away. Had no interest. Once I knew the story, I was done.
We were way more into the cinematics than anything else.
Yeah, and that's just
Yeah,
me.
and finding every little piece of lore,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Yeah,
you have to
picking up
read
all the
all the little
scrolls.
books.
But back to the thing though, I DM like my favorite DM. Well, I tried to DM like my favorite DMs did, but then there are other people who play it differently, and that's cool. And then there are other additions, like 4th and 4.5 really are good for the people who like the grindy, crunchy numbers. You know what I mean? And battle and going on. So, but it's all interesting. Hopefully we have a balance of everything from that the people watching like it, because I'm having fun.
So did anybody read Greet's comment about I too enjoy DiGiorno, and my new elf character died after going mad during our last session from multiple personality disorder by hitting his head on a rock?
I told the child to suck it up. This is your
Yeah, it's pretty
They're
good.
fighting out there with his face chewed off by goblins.
So back to where we left off. Grebe
Grebe's
says,
awesome.
I've been playing for 2 years. I believe the rules are there to service the game, as you guys do. It's all about telling a fun story and having an adventure. Which is right. It's kind of like guidelines.
Yep.
This is... It gives it structure, but it doesn't dictate the direction. And then I love when a group of people can come together and have a great time in a fantasy state of mind. Some people think we're crazy, but they don't know. They do not know. Yeah, I agree. And that's one of the reasons we really like this mat system that we're using, is because
Tell me more about this mat system that we're
Oh,
using.
jeez.
even though it's something I'm building in my garage, it's very vivid as to the outlay of it, and it gives us structure as to where we can occupy space and where we can't. But it also doesn't give us so much information that it deters from our imagination.
Right.
Exactly.
And occasionally a thunder wave can rip the floor apart, and we can make it up as we
We
go.
just fall through.
Yep.
Are there any other outstanding questions on chat?
Let's see here. The Bog says his character, he's trying to be like the show Merlin, which I haven't watched. It's on my... keeps popping up on Netflix.
It's good.
And I do want to watch it. He wants to be the prince and not the prince manservant. So,
Gotcha.
anyways, very cool. Then Grebe, I'll read a couple more. I've been championing you guys to all my friends. More people to watch,
Thanks,
the
Grebe.
better.
Thank you, Grebe.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's-
thanks, Grebe.
That means the world to us.
And then he suggests Dawnforge cast on YouTube. I haven't watched that at all.
I think that's one of the few I haven't gotten around to yet.
Yeah.
I watched one of...
Oh no, I know them. They're the really popular ones they're all remote and they're all the things. They do a good job, but it isn't quite what we're going for. So I enjoy watching them, but they aren't quite pulling off the in-person feel, which we
Right.
literally have today.
I watched
Our
one of
advantage is
their
most people are
videos.
in the room, though.
Yeah.
You can just play off each other and whatnot.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
I watched one of their videos, which was very helpful. Just like Grebe said, the D&D community being helpful and warming to others. I watched one of their videos, which really helped me put my character together. Just because in the process of like, all right, you know, we set up our first session, like let's meet up, everybody try to have a character, and I looked at the character sheet, you know, in the back of my handbook, and I was like, I have no ideas, you know, quick YouTube, and it was very helpful. Like I'd recommend watching the guys' tutorials about putting together a character.
Oh yeah,
and
that's great for that.
Yeah, I had when I first built Thornton, I followed him step by step on building him.
You know, it's interesting. I would bet that we almost all like those of us who do would have separate podcasts that we actually like, which is interesting. You know what I mean? Like I like It Me JP, even though they're all remote. There's an in the room feel, especially as they get on like farther down in their series. You know, you have more of an appreciation for Dawnforge than I do. Not that I disappreciate Dawnforge in any way. It's just not my bag of tea. Well, we all like Acquisitions Incorporated, of course, but you know, like
they are professionally funny. People.
Yep, and they only have to be funny like for 2 hours, like once a quarter. So you know, but anyway, okay, I think we're good to get back to it if you guys are. So
yeah, I've mastered.
Anybody need to get up or anything to do, or do you want to just get right in?
No, I'm good.
All right, we're gonna find out, aren't we?
Is it gonna
listen?
Is it gonna focus on that?
Listen, never let common sense get in the way of fun role playing.
Look at that. Jeez, Lou.
Wow.